This lesson is about practicing and consolidating your understanding of solving equations. It's important that you become confident with solving equations with unknowns on one side, unknowns on both sides, and equations with brackets. If you become confident with these, then you can move on to the extension, which is constructing equations. So to begin with, I would like you to pause the video and I would like you to try solving these 4 equations. So press pause now and have a go at these. So here are the answers. Mark and see how you got on, and that will determine what you need to practice today. So I want you to find and open the sheet 4_ equations consolidation. If you didn't get question 1 right in the review, I want you to start on part A and just work your way through the sheet for the remainder of this lesson. If you got 2 incorrect, you can start on part B, start at the beginning of question B, part B on question 1A. If you were fine on 1 and 2 but got a 3 incorrect, then you can still start on part B but jump to question 1 part F. If you were fine with 1, 2 and 3 and need to practice brackets, then you can start on part C. Make sure that you mark as you go along and you come back to me during the lesson if you are getting them incorrect, so we can try and make sure that by the end of the lesson you're happy with solving equations. If you've got everything in the starter right, I want you to have a go at constructing equations. Therefore, you can continue with the video to look at how we do that. So let's have a look at this question here. It's a thinking of a number problem, and we did some of these in the autumn term. This one is just going to be slightly more complicated. So I think of a number. Let's call that number x. Okay, it says I multiply my number by 4. So let's write that down as 4x, and then I add 5. This gives me the same as, this is equal to, when I multiply the number by 3 and subtract it from 10. I must get this the right way round. Subtract it from 10. Multiply the number by 3 gives me 3x, but I'm subtracting that 3x from 10, so it's 10 minus 3x. So there's our equation, which we could happily go on to solve. I'm not going to solve this now, but when you do your questions, you will go on to solve your equation. We can also construct equations from shapes. Let's just have a look first of all at this first example. So here I have a shape problem. I have a rectangle with an expression of 2x plus 5 for the length and an expression of 3x minus 2 for the width. I'm told the perimeter is 23 and I need to write an equation and solve it in order to find x. Now I know that in order to find the perimeter of the rectangle, I have to add up the lengths of all the sides. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in that this length is also going to be 2x plus 5 because it's opposite that length, and the width here is also 3x minus 2. Now I know that I need to add all of these sides up to find the perimeter. So I'm going to do that under here. It's going to be quite long. I'm going to start with this 2x plus 5. So I've got 2x plus 5. And then I'm going to go to this side, plus 3x minus 2. And then work my way along here, plus 2x plus 5. And then up to this width, plus 3x minus 2. So that's a very long expression for the perimeter, and I know that equals 23. So that's an equation, but it's very long and unwieldy, and we shouldn't try to solve it yet. Before we try to solve it, we need to simplify this left-hand side by collecting like terms. Okay, so I'm going to collect up all the x terms. So I've got 2x plus 3x, that gives me 5x. Plus another 2x, I'm up to 7x, plus another 3x, that gives me 10x. So I've got 10 x's, and then I need to collect up the numbers. So I've got a plus 5, remember that minus belongs to that 2, plus 5 minus 2 is plus 3, plus another 5, so plus 5 minus 2, I'm up to plus 3, plus 5 is 8, minus another 2 is going to give me 6. So I've got 10x minus 6 is equal to 23. Now my equation is in a position where I could start to solve it by adding 6 to each side. Again, I'm not going to go through and solve it, but when you do your questions you'll need to go through and solve them. Okay, let's just have a look at this one here. So in this question it's slightly different. Again, I'm given a rectangle with an expression for the length and an expression for the width, but here I'm told the length is double the width. So that means that my length, which is 7x minus 10, is equal to double my width. So double, or 2 lots of 3x plus 2. And remember, when we are doubling or multiplying by 2, we put that in brackets, and you can see what we've ended up here is an equation with brackets to solve. Okay, we could quickly go on to solve this, or you can pause the video and have a go and then see if you get the same answer. So I'm going to expand my brackets. 6x plus 4. I'm just going to go up here because I'm just running out of room. So now I'm going to take 6x from each side. It's going to give me, and now I'm going to add 10 to each side, so I end up with x equals 14. So for each of the questions that you're going to do, I want you to write an equation and then solve it to find the value of the letter. And I want you to do some questions from my maths textbook, page 195, exercise 10D. I want you to have just start at the beginning of the exercise and have a go at all the questions. When you get to the problem solving questions, if you get onto those, they're a little bit trickier. And for question 3, if you need some hints, there's some hints on the next slide. Okay, so pause the video now to have a go at these questions. I'm going to put up the next slide, and if you need it once you get to question 3 in the problem solving ones, then you can have a look at those hints. So here we go, here are the hints for question 3. If you want to have a read of those, you can pause the video and have a read of them.